In week one, Jeff Batchelor dominated the field by posting a solid 756 series. In his first ever appearance on King of Bowling, he rolled a 222 to become our first king for 1997. In week two, Jeff bowled a clean 216, finishing with the last 4 strikes to defeat Ricky Hayes and retain his title. And now in week 3, he faces his biggest challenge yet. 2 of the greatest players in Cincinnati, Chris Doan or Riga Kalfas. Who will it be? We got to watch. But first, in the 189 and under division, we're going to be having a couple players go at it. Mike Martin and Don Goecke. That's coming up now. Stay tuned. We'll be back for match 1 in a moment. BPA King of TV Bowling. Brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company. When you've got the great taste of Miller Lite, life is good. Pepsi. Nothing else is a Pepsi. Jeff Weiler Eastgate Auto Mall, where over 1,000 cars, trucks, and vans are cheaper in the country.
Vandemark is Cincinnati's largest used auto parts and service center. Let Vandemark handle all your automotive needs, from major body repair to engines. We also carry a full line of car care maintenance products and have the alignment equipment to install auto parts expertly. Let Greg or Jeff help you find the right parts for your car. Rebuilt or used engines, starters, transmissions, alternators, new or used body parts, and of course, Cooper tires. Installation, never a problem. Call us today at 797-PART.
Hello, I'm Jeff Weiler, and you can lease this brand new Nissan Sentra from Jeff Weiler Nissan for just $79 a month for 24 months. You heard me correctly. Lease a 97 Sentra with air conditioning, CD player, security system, power package, and more, just $79 a month for 24 months. No gimmicks, no hassles, no balloon payments. It's this simple. Hurry, they won't last long with this special offer. Only at Jeff Weiler Nissan, located at the Jeff Weiler Eastgate Auto Mall, 1 mile east of I-275 on Route 32.
In Cincinnati that how
This is week number 3, our Northwest Lanes qualifier. There you see the list. Mike Martin was our leader, Gil Hunley second, and Don Goecke. Now, Gil Hunley is not going to be with us today, and the alternate then moves into the spot, Don Goecke. Roger Bunnell and Jim Bowen rounds out the field, and the 189 and under division has been giving us some awfully nice scores in weeks 1 and 2. Let's see if we can duplicate that today, but we'll see what happens here. Northwest Lanes on the extreme north side of town. Beautiful establishment as we watch Mike Martin start his game on the right-hand lane. Ball sets up awfully nice into the pocket. Nice, slow roll. Now, for those of you at home that think you have to be a power player, not always the case. Don Goecke hails from Harrison, Ohio, and Don's been around for many, many, many years. Been trying the qualifiers for 25 years that I know of, and he is thrilled to be here. What a clean roll. Both players opening with a strike in the first frame, as we have, I think we noticed that Don Goecke qualified with a 627, and this division, week after week, surprises me, and they just keep coming back with some solid shots. Don on the right-hand lane. Let's see if he can roll the ball smooth and over his target. Right about the 11th board. He pulls it and gets a great break. Boy, if you're going to make a mistake, folks, make a big one. He should be out around the 9th board. Watch this ball. It's going to be pulled over the 11th board going left. His arm swing comes, and his elbow flies out. There you go. And then the ball goes over, and you got to like it. Mike Martin. What do you say, Mike? That ball's out in right field. cuts back and then sets up, leaves a fairly difficult 1, 2, 10. Sometimes called a mini washout. And you see it there. The idea is to take the ball to the left of the pin in front. That's the head pin. Slide the head pin over into the 10. Let's see if he can show us how it's done. That's there. That's there. Well, eloquently done, Mike. Good shot. Like we said, we tried to take the head pin and throw it over to the right side of the screen and let the ball take out the 2. That is textbook. And typically, if you want to set up and do that, folks, take your normal strike target, move your feet 3 boards to the right. In a left-hander's case, make it 3 boards to the left, and you might get that desired result. Mike Martin, right-hand lane. The flat 10. Mike is rolling the ball fairly well, but he's got to figure out a way to get it to roll through the pocket. Here you see his age is 28, a high game of 298, not too shabby, averaging right at the mark, a 189 in his second TV appearance. Cross lane for the spare, no problem. Don Goecke will step up onto the left-hand lane and see if he can register his 3rd strike in a row. I'd like to remind you, too, that our friends at Jeff Weiler are going to offer a car to anybody shooting a 300 game. And, boy, would that be great to give it away in the lower division. But not today. Going high, leaving the 310, or the baby split, as it's called, around the country. Don Goecke's Harrison, Ohio residence. He's been around for 54 years. 279 is his high game, averaging 186, and like I said, his very first time on television, but he has been supporting the show, watching the show for years, and it's just a real thrill to him to be on the show now. Cuts through and takes out the 3. Need a little bit more deflection, a little more angle, folks at home. When you're trying to make a split where you're trying to bank the ball off of a pin, you really need to increase your angle. In other words, that should have been played more to the left of the lane and then let the ball roll back and through. Here you see our scoreboard. Mike Martin at this point is 3 pins up with a spare working in the 3rd. Don regroups and he throws it wide and does not get the pin action coming off the wall like the crankers that we've seen in weeks past. Now to make the 2, 4, 5, 8, about 3 schools of thought here. You can take a line that straddles a dot that's on a perfect line with the center of this 2, 4, 5 and go straight at it. Other players like to hook the ball in to cut down on the angle. Looks like Don is going to move to the right and try to pull the ball into the pocket. I don't really agree with this theory, but hey, it works. Whatever it takes. Just take a look at it here. Not the textbook way to make it, but Don makes it work for him. Comes down across the lane and great knee bend follow through. There's the 2 and the 5 going out and then taking out the 4 and the 8. Nicely done. Mike Martin winds up, cranks up, and throws, and it's a strike. Good shot, Mike. Michael's ball here on the replay is going to show us that it sets up right there. See, it doesn't continue and move through the pocket and continue to the left. It just straightens out and goes back. On this particular shot, it was filled up so perfectly in the pocket that he did strike. If we see that same shot, and it's about a ½ inch more to the right, that ball will deflect. It will send the 6 pin down and around the 10. And he spun run that ball off of his hand badly, missing the head pin completely and leaving the 1, 2, 4, 7. The picket fence. I'd like to remind everybody the Greater Cincinnati Bowling Association, the city championship tournament, is going to be bowled next couple of weekends. So why don't you give the boys, the ABC guys, a shot at 761-3338. See if you can get in there. Look out. Oh, perfect. This ball looked like it was going to set up and chop, but right here it sets up and sends the 1, it's a chain reaction, 1 into the 2, 2 into the 4, and then the 4 and the 2 gang up on the 7. Like I was saying, the city championship tournaments, give the boys at the ABC a call and they'll give you all the information you need. 761-3338. 90% handicap. Entries on all levels are welcome to play. And there's money to be made. Don Goecke just not getting comfortable and at ease with the shot. He was extremely nervous. I guess you can imagine after years of trying and watching the show to, at the last moment, be notified that put your helmet on, kid, you're in. So he's still fighting the butterflies. He trails by only 6 pins at this point, so he is not out of it by any means. Brings back another spare. Don will throw his 6th frame on the right-hand lane. Both players have a spare in the 5th. And coming down the road, we'll see who can settle down after the commercial break and come back and start striking. Much better shot. But he doesn't break down the split. Looks like he pushed. The 7 went out late, but it went out nevertheless. I didn't see what hit. The Phantom breaks down the split, which would have surely been an open, to a fairly easy spare, the 6-10. Wipes his brow in appreciation for the break. We'll look around for that pin gremlin that gave Don the break back there. And he brings it back easily, and we're going to go to commercial right now. Don't go away. We'll finish up this match and then into the next part of the show. Stay with us.
As members of the American Bowling Congress, these men receive valuable benefits. In sanctioned leagues, they know their games count, and standard rules help the fun along. Awards give them proper recognition. They get their shot at national competition, and they're helping our country's Team USA. When these members go bowling, they know being organized is more fun. Get in league with America. Join the ABC.
You know, marriage is a lot like bowling. You follow the straight and narrow, and you strike it big.
Sure, with a pinhead.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
No, dear, keep going.
Marriage is a lot like bowling. You never want to be in the gutter.
Or you'll score a 0.
What do you mean by that?
Well, nothing, dear. I'll explain it to you later.
Okay, why don't you do the next one, okay?
All right. Marriage is a lot like bowling. If your first shot is bad, you just pick up a spare.
What do you mean by that, huh?
Nothing, dear. Nothing
Chris
at all.
and Janine on WGRR, Oldies 103.5.
Now, this is Slush Puppy. Slush Puppy, a frozen fruit-flavored drink that's fun in a cup. Sure, kids love Slush Puppy, and you will too. Available at most entertainment centers, like amusement parks, bowling centers, and many convenience stores. Oops, almost forgot. Same places, you'll find Thelma's old-fashioned lemonade.
Thelma's soft frozen lemonade and Slush Puppy's variety of frozen fruit flavors, as cool as it gets.
Mike Martin on the left-hand lane, his frame number 6. We need some strikes here. What do you say, Mike? Well, that's that weak 10 I told you about earlier, and that's caused by the ball setting up and not driving through the pocket. It's a game of angles and speeds and all that good stuff, and unfortunately the angle isn't working. Cross lane for the 10. Fairly unorthodox style, but again, the ball even rolls out there at the 10. And just looking down the sheet here, high game of 298, like we said in the bios earlier. He's throwing a zone aftershock. Says he really likes it. A light Wally shot isn't working either, leaving the 2-8. This is a difficult spare. The pin has to be directly in front of it, and boy, what a tough shot when you've got to compete with the oil. There you see the 2-8. The way to make this would be just drive it straight back. And with Mike's ball not tailing off at the end, he's got a shot at it. Not the way you're supposed to make it, but it's kind of entertaining. Take a look at it here. This ball's so thin on the 2-pin in front, it doesn't deflect it, comes back in, and takes out the 8 right behind it. Not really in the book, but we're always looking to learn something new. Don Goecke, left-hand lane, and he crushes that one. Yeah, that gets him pumped up a little bit. 5 pins. Take a look at it here. One of his best shots of the match. Stays down at the line, gets through the ball, rolls it nice and clean. Does not overpower it, but here, when you throw it in the 1-3, that full, you don't need a lot of power and rotation on the ball. That was perfect. 5 pins separates the 2 bowlers. Mike Martin is in the lead, but came on top of the ball and pulled it in a little high into the pocket, leaving the 4-pin. Don's lived in our area here for 14 years, and I know he's down at Western Bowl quite a bit. Every time I go down there, I see him. Bowls 1 time a week, Tuesday night, down at Western, and he likes to use his Omega. And he better use something to make those single pin spares, because that is really going to open the door. Mike Martin, left-hand lane, 8th frame. What do you say, Mike? Too wide. Just not creating the area to get back either. He said the last time he bowled on King of Bowling, he won the game. And didn't say what year or what time that was, and we're looking for him to bring this spare back, and he does. Mike Martin leads by 16 pins as we go into the 9th frame. His footwork is erratic, and so is the rest of his game, but that's the way he's been throwing. And if you work on your game and you get a coach, you can iron out some of those, like the stutter step you saw Mike have there, and get a smoother delivery. There's a lot of things that cause Mike not to average higher, and a lot of them start with your first step. If you can't get the first couple of steps right and get the tempo, the rest of the game becomes very, very difficult. I'll tell you what, he's making some interesting spares for us today. The 2-7-8, not an easy one to bring back either. Mike Martin is the winner in game number 1, 192. Don just could never get it going. Opening in 8th, 9th, and 10th.